I used to be a Grand Prix rider myself, and when I was 22, I decided I was so fortunate to have Grand Prix horses live a wonderful life that I wanted to do something to give back to those less fortunate who had nothing. So I left the sport and went to Honduras to help the victims of Hurricane Mitch in 1998. And had a life-changing experience that inspired me to start JustWorld and to also want to help all these children living in extreme poverty to have a chance, but also to bring the opportunity to help back to the equestrian show jumping world, knowing that equestrians are so consumed by the sport and the profession that there isn't that much time to do charity work outside it. So JustWorld was construed the way the initiatives are formed, where it can fit in with the lifestyle of the equestrians.
I first started one of the riding schools in Honduras, or the main riding school, and when Hurricane Mitch came and pretty much destroyed most of the facility, I lost some of the jumps, and they were being stolen, actually, and we went to try and get them back, and then we found that there were families putting up their roofs with our jumps, and that was a big eye-opener for me. You know, here I was worried about losing the jumps. Yes, you know, I worked for them, but at the same time other people were using them for a roof over their heads. And this for me has been a way to put both my riding and helping other people to give back to them and to the sport.
You know, riding for me is, like for many people, really a passion. And I'm incredibly lucky to be able to do it. And our horses live lives of luxury. They do. And so being in Honduras in particular, where we travel to some of the slum communities in Tegucigalpa, where we have the painting project and we have some other, the mobile library, bringing the kids books, was just extraordinarily wonderful to see these kids get so excited to be able to have a book in their hands. But one of the things that I really think hit home for a lot of us as a measure of the difference between their lives and ours is we saw families of 6, 8 people who are living in 12 by 12 homes. That's the size of our horses' stalls. And to really know that with the kind of the money that we're raising in the horse show world, by having people see that, understand that, and really good-hearted people who want to give back from their lives of incredible privilege, has been really rewarding. And to really see that there's such a disconnect, and when people in a position of affluence can help, it makes an extraordinary difference.
The project in Guatemala, I got to see. There's 250 kids there, and the meal that they get at the project every day that's provided by JustWorld is probably the meal that they get that day. You know, there's a good percentage of them that will be their only meal. Some of these kids will walk 40 minutes to get to the project, and it's amazing to see how so little could really help so much when there's desperate situations. And you can see it in the eyes of these children how appreciative they are. And there's another thing I'd like to mention. There's a rider here competing, Angela Covert-Lawrence, who funds a doctor to conduct a clinic at the project. And he comes in, I think, 2 or 3 days a week. And it happened the day I was there, the day that the clinic was on, and there was a lineup outside the project. Not only kids, but the parents and the grandparents were coming to see this doctor because they don't have the opportunity to get to a doctor. And Angela funds that. So it's the equestrian world is doing a lot to help JustWorld, because we know that whatever we put into it is going right where it's supposed to be.
I have been to the project in Antigua, in Guatemala, and I've been there twice. And on the last visit, I met the doctor they had found to take care of not only the children at the project, but basically all the families in the area. And I just felt he was doing such an amazing job, and it was so needed and so necessary that I agreed to adopt that project. So yeah, I pay the doctor's salary for that clinic. It's really probably what I spend on coffee in a year. I mean, it really, a little bit of money goes a long way.
Really easy to get caught up in the horses and the horse show world. And it's just refreshing because it's always a place to go where you know that you'll be able to give back. And everyone who's involved with JustWorld all has the same mission. And it's just, there's so many, everyone's familiar with each other in a way. I don't know.
Got there and it was an amazing experience. All the kids, they have nothing, but they're so willing to give anything away, and they actually have nothing. They come home, they can't have a snack when they come home from school, and they have to walk home, and they see so much war and drugs that they shouldn't have to see, and Los Patojos helps get them off of the streets and gives them a meal, and yeah.
Yeah, like that project, it was the most life-changing experience I've ever had in my entire life. Like, we walked in there and the kids were so excited to see us. They just cheered and clapped, and we spent the whole afternoon just getting to know them. And Juan Pablo Romero Fuentes, who he's the owner of the community center Los Patojos, he gave up his home actually just to get these kids off the street and to give them a place to go. He's really, really amazing. The most amazing person I've ever met, I think.
The organization in itself, the amount of money from the people to come into JustWorld is the organization more efficient in the world to put money to the real charity, to arriving to the final objective. And this is something that the people need to know. And I want to congratulate Jessica and Phil and all of them to really being very active in JustWorld, but they did fantastic. Thank you for what you do. I come from a developing country. I come from Venezuela, and we need, in all the undeveloping countries, we have big society problem, poor people, and I know it's our fight, but our politics are really bad. But anyway, we need the help, and thank you for what JustWorld doing for us.
You got to thank Jessica. Jessica Newman is the motor behind it, and we're just there to help her along.
Yes, I've visited the projects in Honduras, and I actually found it, it was very inspiring to see that the need the first time we went to one of the projects, and then to go the following year and to see the difference that JustWorld had made, which was significant, and it made you really feel good about what's happening, and all these fundraising activities. It made you realize that it's going to the right place.